Hey everyone, welcome to my garage. I haven't really nailed my bike cleaning process yet. I was thinking about how I'm gonna make this video and I'm like, I'm not really an expert in this. I mean, bike cleaning isn't that much different than washing a car, but there are some unique components. I mean, you've got the chain with some grease on it and stuff like that. Obviously this is quite a bit dirtier, I'll show you in a second, than my cars get. Maybe not your cars, but my car. And I'm gonna show you some of the products I'm gonna use, some of the process I'm gonna use. Some of you guys that are bike guys may not be familiar with this process, but I'd like to take you through how I do this. I'm gonna clean this is Yeti SB100. I think it's a 2019 maybe, with SRAM Axis AXS. So it's the SRAM, like the highest end components. It has, so it's a Torque 3 spec, carbon wheels, carbon frame. I have the whole frame with Invisalign as braces. I think it's Shield. So it's an XPEL Ultimate or XPEL matte stealth version of a PPF. So the bike has PPF on it. It's also coated with G-Tech CSL, so we'll see how that's holding up. I haven't washed the darn thing and I probably put about 250 miles on it since the last time I washed the darn thing on the trails. So not a lot of mountain biking going on here in Florida. It's all trail riding. But let me detach the camera here, show you what the bike looks like. I'll show you the products I'm using, and then we'll get into it. All right, so here's the dirt level of the bike. Lots of sand here in Florida. Like I said, I haven't cleaned it. It hasn't been washed in probably 6 months. I've been riding once or twice a week for the last, I don't know, 2 months or so, 3 months. And it sat for a while prior to that. But you can see the bike is certainly not clean. And it's about time to clean the darn thing. The drivetrain is, I'll show you the stuff I use in the chain. So the drivetrain isn't too gummed up. You get some funk in the spokes or in the gear set here, but in general, the bike really needs a solid cleaning. I bought this lineup stand from, I think it's Joe something or other, or Toe Peak, sorry. So I bought a Toe Peak little stand. I used to have a Park Tool frame stand, but it got all rusted out. I got rid of it. So that's the Yeti. And then I've also got to wash my Giant. The Giant just has, I don't think the Giant's coated. This was one of my dumb moves in that I modified this. So this has SRAM Eagle XX1, I believe, XXO. It actually has a better crank than the Yeti has, but I think I spent 4,000 bucks putting Shimano XTR brakes on this. And this is an aluminum frame bike. This is like Anthem 29er. This is like a 2000, probably 12, maybe 2011 aluminum frame that Michelle got funk all over. I put some stands. This bike is tubed, whereas the Yeti's tubeless. I left tubes in this because this bike sits a lot. I want to cut the handlebars as well. These are what, 760s. I don't like super wide handlebars. It freaking hurts. I transfer all that weight to my elbows. So that's the condition of the bikes, and we're going to clean them up. So what we're going to be using here are dual Krenzla K1322s. So this is a K1322 TS, and they're set up in parallel. So we're getting about around 4 gallons, 4.2 gallons a minute. This is my Obsessed Garage system. If you've seen this anywhere else, they've copied it. I made this up, and so it's kind of gone everywhere now. But if you are watching this video and you wash bikes and you want some help on it, hit me up. I'd be happy to help you set up. This system as it stands is about 5,500 bucks. If you do a single pressure washer, which is all you really need, then you could do it for about $3 grand. And the products we're going to use are a G-Technic Bike Clean. So that's going to be my pre-wash. I'm not going to foam it. I'm just going to spray it on first with the bike dry. We're going to use some G-Technic Drivetrain degreaser on the drivetrain. And then I'm going to spray a little bit of Tri-Clean. The other things I have are, this is a prototype Detail Factory, not as stiff, but a softer bristled brush. I got an Easy Detail brush, and then I've got a Race Glaze extra large brush as well that we'll use to brush the bike off. So first step is we're going to pre-treat the bike, and so I think you'd probably want to use this dry. If I really get into, if I continue mountain biking like I have been, or bike cycling like I have been, I'm going to change the process and continue to develop the process. I certainly wouldn't use this bottle and sprayer. This is terrible, but for right now, this will be sufficient. So the directions say 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know how necessary this step is, being as the bike is coated and all this stuff is going to wash right off, but you know, can't hurt. Can't hurt to pre-treat it. So right now this pre-treat solution is doing its job to break down stuff. Then I'm going to rinse this off, and then I was foaming bikes, but I don't think I'm going to foam it. The other thing I'd like to do, just so this can kind of break down any bacteria, is spray a little Tri-Clean on my seat and my grips. And I'm going to let all this sit for a minute or two. It says 3 to 5 minutes. So that's all I need for this. You can put this away. Now, if you're wondering, this flooring is called Swiss Trax flooring. It has channels underneath. My garage is pitched to run outward, so the garage is sloped. If I were to take the camera outside afterwards, you'd be able to see the water running out. Plus, we're in Florida where water evaporates pretty well. So I wonder if the step, let's see. So I'm thinking, while this is all breaking down, let's also hit our drivetrain with drivetrain degreaser. Now that squirt doesn't really grease up. My drivetrain stays pretty clean here. Let's hit my brakes as well a little bit. Hub. Pedals. So I guess we're done with the drivetrain degreaser as well. The one thing I want to do with this pre-treating stuff, I don't want to agitate this. Yeah, I'm kind of developing this process on the fly here. I don't want to agitate this because I don't want to scratch it. And so now what I want to do is I want to get the bike cleaned off now. So I want to get, so this is designed to break down the stuff. And now I'm going to take, I have a 40-degree nozzle on this. This is the OG Spec Mosmetic gun with a swivel. And I'm going to rinse it off. Now, it may seem like I've got a lot of pressure here. I've only got 1,000 PSI at the pressure here is 1,000 PSI at 4.2 gallons a minute. So the GPM, the flow, is moving a lot of water here. So it looks like a lot of pressure, but it's not. I can take my hand and touch the stream, and it's not, it's not going to hurt it. So the bike is pretty clean. there's no such thing. You could get away with just doing that, I'm sure. There's not really a such thing as like washing without agitating, right? So a lot of people hope to do like a rinse on, rinse off type thing. And that can kind of clean up the bike, but it's not really clean. Now, so like some of the muck off and stuff, a lot of people, it's a bit of a pipe dream to think that you can just spray it off, spray something on, spray it off. Now, because the bike is coated, the water's beating up here, but there's still like surface level film on here that I would like to get off and complete the process. There's also some dirt and stuff in the cracks and crevices. So now, this is where normally I would foam the bike. I don't think it's really necessary. I mean, there's so little surface area. So I think I'm going to go right to washing. So I'm done with my bike clean. I've got Obsessed Garage. Need a little more water in here. So I've got Obsessed Garage Decon soap here in the bucket. Let's just throw all our tools in the bucket here. See, like a car, normally I would foam it with the foam cannon. On a bike, I think we can get away with just doing this. So this is a lambskin mitt, which I normally use to clean wheels. I think this is an appropriate way to do it. I mean, the bike is so simple that there's not a lot to this cleaning process that I think we need to overthink. Now, if this was a gloss surface, so if this was a bike that wasn't PPF covered and had a regular painted finish, I guess, I don't know where I'm going with that. I would do it the same. So I'm going to surface level clean it here with this, and then we're going to get in with the brushes, get in the other cracks and crevices that I can't reach with this. So this is one of those things, if I wasn't on camera, I mean, you could knock out a bike in 5 minutes, 15 minutes tops, start to finish. I guess I didn't need 2 buckets, did I? I need to get another one of these so I can put it in the front and rear. Maybe you guys could suggest some better bike stand that I should consider. Okay, so then what I would like to do is take this guy, tire wash. do, let's get in here with this brush. I love that there's not much to this bike, as most modern bikes. So there's not much to get kind of gunked up. There's not much to do, detail-wise. I think that's about it. Let's rinse it off. Save this for the next bike. Got myself wrapped around here. Yeah, it's got to be a better solution where I don't have to hold on to the bike. Looks pretty good. So what I think I should do, let's just finish this bike and then we'll do the other one next. We got an Ego stubby and then an Apex Air stubby. On Ego, this is the Ego 580, which is my favorite, which I discontinued. Small battery, you don't need the big one, so we can have it lighter weight. I'm gonna dry the thing off. So I do have a video on the channel. I'll put a link in the description of me coating this. I think I have a video as well as Martin doing the bike protection film. My tint PPF guy. He did all the protection film on it, the paint protection film. It came out great, and the bike looks great. I think I have like 700 miles, all trails, primarily all trails. On this, no downhill stuff. I mean, I'm in Central Florida. But let me just show you what it looks like now. Came out nicely. So all that gunk, pretty simple. The beauty of doing the work beforehand on the bike is then it wipes off and cleans off really nicely. So now we're just gonna dry it off and we're gonna top our coating off with, normally I would use Obsessed Garage drying aid, but because I haven't done this in a while, this is a version of C2V3, the ceramic coat or topper. You could also consider just using this instead of coating the bike. But I'll put, like I said, I'll put a video up of me putting a coating on this, and a coating on a bike should last forever, you know, the life of the bike, darn near close to it. Unless, of course, you're washing it too often or really often if you're much more avid cyclist than I am. So I'm going to use the towels that I use for my wheels. These are a little 12 by 12 little bro. So now what I'll do, you could probably also spray this on the towel. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Let's see how it goes. So this is, I'm in this case using it as a drying aid. You know, the bike is still damp from me spraying it off. But what I'm doing is I'm topping off my coating layer with a fresh layer of silicon dioxide, if you will, or some derivation of that. And then this will help keep my coating working, as well as create a new little sacrificial layer on top. making dirt and debris and stuff easier to wash off in the future. I don't have a dropper on this. I like to take the dropper off, save like a pound on the bike, like an entire pound, by getting rid of the dropper post. And this is an Envy carbon seat post. I think the darn seat post is like $400. I think I sold my dropper for $100 and bought this, which is much more sophisticated with cabling and everything, and bought this seat post for 4 times that. So I've recently ordered this is an XL. I think I probably should be riding I should probably be riding a large. I'm 6'2", and it's kind of in between. But I ordered a Santa Cruz Blur, fully kitted out with SRAM axis, and I ordered that in. I probably won't have it till next year, but I ordered that in a large size. Try out. So as long as I've gotten the bulk of the sand and the nasty stuff off the bike, now this step I can really, any areas I might have missed in my swift cleaning method, I can kind of clean up. See, I love the electronic bike because all I have are the 2 brake cables. And then when you get rid of the dropper, you get rid of the dropper cable. I think they have electronic droppers now, don't they? But I get rid of all that. This bike is probably like around 20 pounds in an XL 29er. It's pretty good. The carbon wheels. Lost weight without being tubeless. And then only 100, it's an SB100, so it's only 100 millimeters of travel. We don't need travel here in Florida. In fact, I should probably be riding a hardtail, but I'm not very comfortable on a bike. Maybe I will be when I get down to 200 pounds again, but right, I've been a pseudo, a sort of avid cyclist in the low 200s before, and it was still uncomfortable for me. So I'm a lot older now than I was then. Looks pretty good. What I'll do, let's throw the thing on the handlebars and let's dial in the underside, and we'll dial in the wheels. Let's flip it over. I don't really need to do any maintenance outside of just oil the chain. Drivetrain feels great. Taking a couple little impacts here from rocks and sticks and stuff, but the PPF is looking pretty good. Sorry, when I say PPF, I'm saying paint protection film for you non-car guys, you cyclists out there who are judging me at the moment for my lack of cycling knowledge. Obviously, different than a car. We're not going to dress the tires. That wouldn't be smart. My last ride, I changed up to, I should probably take my bike computer off. Looks like it's touching here. This is a Garmin, I forget which version this is, whatever that is. You guys, you bike guys probably know. It's kind of pointless. It's the GPS enabled version because I don't ever actually analyze any of the data. I just like having a big screen. I'm telling my riding buddies I'm going to wash the bike every week for a long time. gunk in there. Looks good. Which side looks pretty clean. Took a little hit there. Not bad. So being that I spent the time to really dial in the bike before with coating it, it makes this process so much easier. I don't have to do a whole heck of a lot of work to get this thing basically back to fresh. Let's see, that's it. A little gunk in my sprockets here or whatever. I didn't catch that, otherwise I would have degreased it a little better. Bike's pretty dialed, man. I have no business buying a new one, but I like bikes. I like new ones. I tend not to stress out over this kind of stuff because in 30 seconds of the first ride, this is getting a fresh coating of sand and dirt. It's not bad. All right. Put a little lube on it, and this bike is done. I don't think anything else really needs to be serviced on it. Everything else is good. Okay, just a little light application. That's it. This sounds a little crunchy. I almost want to, still a little wet. Very good. Spray a little bit of greaser here. That's a wrap, folks. My SB100 is clean as can be. I'm gonna do the same thing with the Giant. We're looking pretty. Telling you, man, this freaking Garmin is amazing. I charge it like once every couple of months. So that's a wrap. That's my SB100, nice and clean, ready to ride. I'm actually going away. I'll be back on it probably Wednesday next week because I'm going to be gone for a week. But I rode it yesterday. Had a nice little 26-mile ride on the trails. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.